first thing I want to talk about today is people are terrifying news. Let's talk about Damon Perry. Damon, seen here in this very flattering picture, was apparently binge watching some Walking Dead with his buddy. Then apparently at some point in the night, multiple 40s of malt liquor in. According to Damon, his buddy tried to bite him. Now most likely he was either joking or Damon's just crazy. But either way, Damon's reaction to this is, oh my god, my buddy's turning into a zombie. And at that point he starts beating his friend with his hands and his feet. Then, because apparently that wasn't enough, he started beating his friend with an electric guitar, kitchen knives, and finally a microwave, resulting in his buddy's death. Then sometime after, Damon left his apartment and started chasing his neighbors with a knife. Luckily, 2 maintenance workers were able to hold him down. Police showed up, arrested him. So that was the thing that happened. Also, police need to do a toxicology report because this happened in New Mexico, and New Mexico is kind of the meth capital of the United States, so if it sounds methy and it looks methy, it's probably methy. Then in your random interesting fact of the day that you can retell at a party when there's that awkward silence, Daniel Craig, the 6th James Bond, while still very violent as far as the Bonds go, loved the least and drank the most, which is also an accurate description of most of my stepfathers. I love making things randomly dark. Moving on. Then let's talk about South by Southwest, a really fun multi-week festival in Texas. Stuff for movies, music, tech, and gaming, which is actually the subject of the news today, which I found surprising because their gaming at South by Southwest has been pretty low-key. And the news is that South by Southwest have canceled panels about harassment online because of threats they received, saying there were numerous threats that if these panels happened, there would be on-site violence. And in a blog post, they said their decision ultimately came down to this: South by Southwest prides itself on being a big tent and a marketplace of diverse people and diverse ideas. But preserving the sanctity of the big tent is more important than preserving any particular session. So some understood they have to think about the safety of others first, while others saw this as a terrible move that will only lead to worse things. And the reason for that is you have this big established festival essentially cowering down to what might just be bullies. So not only does South by Southwest lose because they show that they can be controlled by other people, and now because people see that these threats of violence can actually get them what they want, what's to stop any of those people from them threatening any of the other conventions or festivals or whoever? And among those who are disappointed by South by Southwest's decision is BuzzFeed, saying in a letter, "We will feel compelled to withdraw if the conference can't find a way to do what those other targets of harassment do every day, to carry on important conversations in the face of harassment." Adding, "Those targets of harassment who include our journalists do important work in spite of these threats." And Nation, I'd love to know your opinion on this. And then let's talk bullshit. Bullshit sounds pretty negative, but I'm actually a big fan of the art of bullshitting. Marketing, sales, getting people to like you in spite of who you inherently are. And as much as I love bullshitting, I also love exposing bullshitting, so let's talk Yahoo. Yahoo and the NFL teamed up over the weekend to stream the Jaguars-Bills game. If you don't care about sports ball, don't worry, you don't need to know. But you should know, this is a big deal. The NFL and TV, there's so much money there, so why would they even test online? Well, everything else is going online, so why not dabble? And according to Yahoo's press release, it was fantastic. Here are some bullet points. We saw 33.6 million streams of the game and over 15.2 million unique viewers tuned in for one of the largest live stream sporting events in history. 460 million total minutes were streamed. 33% of the streams came in internationally across 185 countries worldwide. And we performed a technical first with a rebuffering ratio of nearly 1% while delivering over 8.5 petabytes to end users. So the non-BS parts first. The fact they were able to stream that much data, and I tuned in as well. If you had a good connection, the experience was very enjoyable. Also, 33% of the streams coming in internationally, that sounds fantastic. The NFL wants American football not to be so US-centric, but the rest is kind of bullshit. Total minutes streamed, that's a pretty empty number. During a 3-hour event, they streamed 460 million minutes. During the past 28 days, 45 million minutes were spent watching my videos, and that means nothing. And as far as the 33.6 million and the 15.2 million unique, so that means that during this several-hour event, 15.2 million people checked in, if even just for a few seconds, which resulted in 33.6 million streams, which means several people had to try it twice. But what about concurrent? How many people were watching together at one time? Well, that number internationally has come out to around 2.36 million and domestically 1.64 million. Still good numbers for the web, terrible for TV, which gets anywhere between 10 and 20 million, especially since the game was still on TV in Buffalo and Jacksonville. And also because those teams are kinda shitty. But those are actually terrible numbers considering that Yahoo is doing the oldest dirty trick in the book: autoplay. They had the game autoplaying on yahoo.com, still one of the most trafficked websites on the internet, and at the top of Tumblr, one of the most trafficked sites on the internet. And in response to the question of do you feel like your numbers might be inflated at all, they essentially said no because, quote, somebody had to watch for 3 seconds before it triggers and counted. So if people came on to the Yahoo homepage and were looking for links or a news story, chances are they didn't count. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, boom. That's how long it took for a view to count. It takes less time for me to tell you're full of shit. Then yesterday you might have seen this video. The internet has been pretty damn split on if the force used was excessive or not. I've given and stand by my opinion on it, but the update to the story is the officer in the video, Ben Fields, has been placed on administrative leave and is not allowed to go back to the school until the investigation is done. There's an investigation being done by his department, but also now the feds are getting involved. It also came out that Officer Fields has been named in several lawsuits related to his job. One where it alleged Officer Fields handcuffed a man, then kicked him, started pepper spraying him in the face, but it should be noted the jury found in his favor, and he's actually named in a lawsuit for that same high school. But that one doesn't start till January. Also, to help answer the question as to why no one in the class did anything while this girl was getting tossed around, Tony Robinson Jr., who actually recorded a longer version, told CBS News he had never seen anything so nasty looking, and it was so sick that all the students were turning away, didn't know what to do, and were just scared for their lives. And it'll be very interesting to see what the police find in their investigation, because it doesn't seem like necessarily they're on his side. Fields' boss, Richland County Sheriff Leon Lott, said, "The video is very disturbing. Quote, I shake my head and just say, I ask why. And that's what I want to know. I want to know why something like that happened." And overall, I'm just very interested to see what's actually going to happen with this case. And that's actually where I want to end today's show. But, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Is that funny?
It's terrifying.